recognized. Based scholar with an impressive, once again, he's a UK-based scholar with an impressive track record when it comes to competitive research funding. He has successfully engaged with major funding schemes, including TED Fund, IBR, NRF, and several international grant opportunities. Beyond these achievements, he is deeply committed to mentoring emerging researchers and equipping them with practical strategies for success in the increasing competitive research funding landscape. Without any doubts in my mind, once again, and I say this without any apology, he is exceptionally positioned to guide us once again through today's session. So before I invite him to actually take the floor, I would like to inform the participants that our speaker will be speaking for approximately 35 minutes, and after that we can bombard him with our questions and answer. I would therefore encourage everyone to listen attentively. Please take notes and prepare your questions ahead of time. So ladies and gentlemen, with great respect, anticipation, and excitement, please join me in welcoming once again our guest speaker in person of Dr. Taufik Badebo Yusuf. Sir, once again, we are delighted to have you with us once again. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. The floor is yours. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thanks so much for the brilliant introduction. It's a very great honor to be invited again to speak on another key concept of grant writing, which is concept notes. Well, following the successful presentation of the last webinar, the CEO of this organization invited me again to come and speak on the concept notes. I cannot say no because concept note is very, very important in the process of grant writing, because a well-crafted concept note means the reviewers might say yes to the funding. And as a result of this, I'm going to introduce to us what we have to do to get funded whenever our concept note is submitted, not only for NRF, TED Fund, but for other internationally recognized funding body. Let me start from the presentation outline. We are going to look at why concept note matters, fit and fundability, reviewer's lens, writing the concept notes, rubrics, and strengthening the submission. Yeah, before we move further, I would like to take a moment to introduce what a concept note is. Concept note is a short, excuse me, let me get out of brief technical each here. Okay, concept note is a short, clear document that explains an idea for a project, research study, program, event, business proposal, or funding request. Why this webinar is timely? It affords an opportunity for us to understand the opportunity basically for NRF, because NRF begins with Concept notes, submission. As I said earlier, failure to present a well-crafted concept note means reviewer might say no. And presenting a very good concept note is a good opportunity to get funded. Screening, only fundable concept notes move to full proposal. If it is not good or it is deficient, that means the entire chain might have problem. Because if you have a very good proposal and your concept note is not good, you will not be able to move to the next stage, which is the proposal. Training lens. It shows alignment, significance, novelty, feasibility, and capacity building. Yeah, the NRF funding pathway is very important to understand the chain of NRF funding pathway, and that is the reason why I include this slide, which include research idea, concept notes, which is of course the second stage. Then the third stage is screening. After the concept note has been submitted, then it will be screened by a committee in charge. And for NRF, this committee is always made up of the vice chancellors in Nigerian universities. Then only the successful concept notes that have been screened will migrate to the second stage, which is full proposal. If the proposal is assessed and is found worthy to be funded, then it will move to the proposal defense. And that is typically done in Abuja. And after the approval, then the next is to disburse the funding. Yeah, it is very, very important to understand the reviewer's question before we could have good concept notes. What the reviewer will ask or look into is there enough fit? That is, does it align with the thematic area which I'm going to introduce shortly? Is there any evidence for the identified area? Is there a very good novelty? What about the feasibility of achieving the aim and objectives and the impact to justify a full proposal? This is the key question that the reviewers would ask before they judge the concept notes. Yeah, what are the eligibility? What are the eligibility criteria for accepting the concept notes? It is basically lecturers in Nigerian public tertiary institutions. Before you are eligible, you must have a position in any Nigerian tertiary institution. It can be university, polytechnic, or colleges of education. The PI, which is the lead researcher, must be institution-based. Institution is the guarantor, that is the vice chancellor or director or the provost of the institution must serve as the guarantor. PI readiness, university, senior lecturer or above. That is the criteria. Polytechnic or college, if it is polytechnic or college, it must be principal lecturer or above. The PI is accountable for conduct, for team strategy, multidisciplinary links, expertise matched to objectives, delivery, and reporting capacity. Yeah, thematic areas. How do you know that your area fits with the funding call? You can take a look kind of multidisciplinary, which is made up of blue economy, clean energy, entrepreneurship, environment, policy, defense, innovation, and innovation system. And the rule of thumb is a fundable idea should be traceable to one funder priority and one real societal or sector problem. So you must be able to align your research to societal or sector problem. Yeah, I've tried to give an example of two to fundable topic, and I used two examples which are clean energy and health and welfare. So this is divided into three: problem, evidence, gap elimination, fundable concept, possible output. So these are the things to look at if you want to consider a concept note. For instance, for clean energy, before you consider any topic, anything at all, look at unreliable rural power. That is the problem you might want to solve if your area falls in the thematic area of clean energy. The gap will be systems not load adapted. Fundable concept, then that is the solution that you want to use your research to address. Solar battery management, that is a very good fundable concept to solve clean energy related issue. Then possible output could be validated model. It can come in terms of model, it can come in terms of design, engineering design, policy, and so on and so forth. Second one is health and welfare. So the problem evidence could be late disease detection, gap limitation could be diagnostics, not locally accessible. Fundable concept could be AI assisted screening, and possible output could be workflow evidence. What are the sources of strong research ideas? I have put up this slide to let you identify where you can actually have strong research ideas. The first one is NRF themes, as I have shown you previously. International calls, policy priorities. The policy and data, that's national plans. You can find this one on National Daily Newspaper, policy papers, white papers, SDGs, World Bank policies, FAO, and World Health Organizations. You can identify from these organizations, you can identify the problems they are talking about, then use your expertise to solve those identified issues. Field needs, stakeholder interviews, community problems, industry pain points. When you look at interviews on TV, social media, stakeholders often talk about issues, problems. You can pick issues to be solved from this. Also from literature gaps, you can find this one on Scopus papers and some other databases, real reviews, unresolved debates, local evidence, and gaps. Then another source could be patent databases, which might include Google patents. You can find all these online. If you Google, you can see, you can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these patent databases. You can search and see what has been done, what has not been done, to see where you can fill in the gap. Patent searches help you to see what exists, what is claimed, and where local adaptation can become fundable. What reviewers are really looking for? The first one is alignment. Fit with core. I have already given the thematic areas, which is about 30. So you must be able to fit your proposal within these thematic areas. Significant problem is your research has the potential to solve significant problem. Is there any evidence or gap that the problem actually exists? Design as novelty innovation. What is the novelty of your concept note? How feasible is the method that you want to use? What are the objectives or method logic? Then delivery, capable team. Are your team capable of solving the problem or conducting this research? Is the budget realistic? So typically before any call, the call always come up with the acceptable budget range. Make sure your budget fits with the call. It must not be too low and it must not be too high. You must be able to align the budget in line with the call. Then work plan credibility. Is your Gantt chart appropriate within the timeline? Are you able to conduct those, deliver those objectives realistically? Then you have to take those into consideration. Then value, measurable benefits, sustainability and scalability. Will you be able to scale up your research? Are your objectives measurable? Then what impact will they have, or what are the relevance of the research to the society? In this regard, there is a clear reviewer mindset, which is form good ideas that are aligned, well evidenced, feasible, useful, and deliverable. Therefore, concept note, typical sections. This is the typical section of the TEDFund NRF concept. The first one is identity. I group them into three: identity, argument, and design. For identity, we have theme. Theme is the first one. You need to identify the theme, which, is clean energy, is culture, is based on your area of research. You have to identify the theme. After the theme, you consider the title of the concept note, then consider the budget, then team details. For argument, background, problem statement, objective, for research questions, literature theory. For design, methodology, expected result, innovation, and novelty. So these are the sections that you need to address while you are submitting your research for the NRF portal. Yeah, for solution of concept notes, I strictly recommend that you put your ideas on Microsoft Word first before you probably copy and paste to the NRF portal. And TEDFund is not strictly restricting you to have certain number for background. You might have 220, you might have 230, but the entire space must not be more than 1,500 words. That is what is allowed from background to the references. But I recommend that you use this for background. You can use 220 words. For problem, you can use 180 words. For objective and question, 150 words. So when you have everything together, it must not exceed 1,500 words. And that is the maximum allowed. It can be less, but it cannot be more than 1,500 words. Writing a fundable research title. This is very, very important aspect, because title is the first thing reviewers will see So you must take time to craft your title in such a way that it is appealing to the reviewers. And it must have three features. The first one is innovation approach. What is being developed? It must be revealed in the title. What is being developed, assessed, designed, tested, or modeled? It must show conspicuously from your title. Then problem targeted. What specific real-world issue is being addressed? Then the third one is outcome and benefit. What useful products, policy, result, or benefit is expected? I gave you an example of a weak title, food security among farmers in Nigeria. This is weak because it is too broad. It is not measurable, it is not specific. Funders find it difficult to identify what you actually want to do. So you can improve this title by narrowing it, and I gave you one example, which is development of a low-cost solar dry system to reduce post-harvest losses among smallholder tomato farmers. So you can see that this title fits in with the three criteria identified above. So the second one is background to the study. So the first one we have to consider is broad context, evidence of the problem, local or sector-specific relevance, gap or limitation, justification for the study. All these must be seen in your background to the study. The reviewers must not be struggling to see the evidence of the problem you want to solve, the local or sector-specific relevance. How relevant to the sector? Because funders will not want to waste their money or energy funding in research that is not relevant to the society. So you have to be specific in all this. And if I were you, I might want to arrange all these in paragraphs. So we can have up to 4 or 5 paragraphs or 6 paragraphs. That depends on your area. Yeah, the next one is problem statement formula. Nature, scale, and seniority. What we want to see under this aspect is who is affected. In your statement of the problem, we want to see who is affected, how serious is it, why is funding needed, why do you need funding? So it has to be seen, obviously. The previous attempt and persistence, what has been tried, why does the problem remain? Then you have to state all this with one or two, you might buttress it with one or two evidences, maybe reference from reputable journals. Proposed innovation and outcome. What approach is proposed? What outcome is expected? So this is what the reviewer will want to see in your concept note. And this must not be more than the allocated words that we have discussed previously. So I have taken pain to give you an illustrative background example of background of the study in 220 words. For broad context, for instance, and the time will not permit me to read everything, but anyone who is interested in request for the PowerPoint, I'm happy to send it so that this one will serve as a guide to write your own. The next one is objectives. The objective must follow SMART technique. What does SMART mean? relevant, then T means time bound. The objectives must follow this pattern. Every objective should have a matching method, expected result, team capacity, and budget item. And the concrete example is, I give one example on post average losses title, objective, and the asset to access post average losses, the method, survey, and storage observation. That can be used as a guide. The output quantify loss patterns and causes. Methodology, that is proof of feasibility. To achieve objectives, each activity links to one or more objectives. Doable within time, show access to sites, data, equipment, expertise, and approvals. You must prepare your mind to answer all these, show access to sites. All these information are very relevant and important while writing your methodology. The relevance to the problem. Avoid impressive methods that do not answer the question. Do not just copy and paste anything from anywhere and dump it as your methodology. Make sure it perfectly aligns with your objectives. And then make sure the equipment fits with those fits in with answering those objective and research questions. Then the materials, make sure they are accessible. If they are not accessible, tell the funders that these are not accessible and then propose how the alternative method you intend to use to address all those research questions. Result, output, outcomes, and impact. This is another section of the concept note. For output, what the project produces, that is prototype, data set, model, policy, brief, manual, validated tool. You must tell the funders the output your research intends to produce. It can be prototype. For instance, if it is engineering-based research, you might propose a prototype. It might be data set, because data set is very relevant to policy making. Model, it can be model. It can be policy brief. It can be manual. It can be validated too. So those are the outputs that the funders expect. The outcomes, what changes because outputs are used? Improved process, better decisions, validated workflow, improved practice. Then impact, that's long-term value. The society, sector, economy, environment, policy, users. So take all these three into considerations while you are writing the result, outcomes, and impact section of the concept unit. Because expected results should be realistic, measurable, consistent with objectives, and linked to research questions. So another section is innovation. That's linked means specific. Innovation may be new improved product, new improved service, new improved process, locally adapted solution, technology with commercial or societal value. Prove it by showing what exists already, what limitation remains, what your idea changes, why the change matters, how users will benefit. Then there's a clear innovation statement. You can state this one to make the founders get convinced that you know what you are doing. You can say, okay, unlike existing approaches, that is the limitation. And this project will so to achieve so. So that is very strong. Then this will enable the founders to know that you actually know what you are doing. Now, budget realism, this is another aspect. At concept note stage, state a realistic total cost avoid controversial excess, stick within funder ceiling. For instance, the maximum allowed budget is, I think it's 50 million naira. So I don't know what it is this year. So take note of the maximum. Where they say it is 50 million, don't request 250 million. And don't request 200,000. So, because that might be too low for a realistic objective. But make sure the funding that you are requesting for perfectly aligns with your research. Don't just give an hypothetical value. Make sure it closely aligns with what you want to do. And have a breakdown of the cost. The typical cost areas are equipment and consumables. Those are the areas you need to consider. Research support, data collection and analysis, travel and meetings, dissemination and administrations. These 5 are allowed costs. You can split the cost among these areas. And the budget test is help answer which objective or activity does this support. Convert the current budget to 2026 selling before submission. So if it is 2027, you have to combine what the core actually requires. Another important section is research team. And this includes the PI, which is the principal investigator, that is the leader of the team. Names, ranks, and affiliation, highest qualifications, specialization, clear. While you are gathering your team, gender is very important. You might want to it's acceptable, but it's always good to mix it so that it is gender balance. The mentor-mentee, it's always good to include. It is one of the quality as a group of learn from what you are doing. It's always good for the team to have common publications. Make sure before you submit any joint publications, even if it is conference paper or seminar papers, include it so that the reviewers that you are actually having things in common, not just that you gather yourself without any purpose. Build teams around the problem, not merely around friendship, fighting, or availability. Don't just pick teams randomly or based on friendship. Make sure each participant is linked with roles before you submit the concept and note. So, on this note, I would like to round it up with references. So, because of the time space, you will use only the most relevant sources. Prioritize recent report, policy document, key scholarly works. Keep the official limit not more than 5 references. You may have lower number of references, but make sure it is not more than 5 because of space. And make sure those references support the key argument in your concept unit. Make sure every reference supports the claim in the concept note. Then our final submission checklist. Before submitting the concept note, please confirm that the topic fits the funded thematic area. Make sure the problem is evidence-based. Make sure the objectives match the methodology. Make sure the innovation is clearly stated. Make sure the budget supports the activities. Make sure the team has the right expertise. Make sure the references stay within the official limits. Make sure the author instructions, deadline, template, and budget ceiling are followed. Thanks for listening.
Oh wow. Thank you. That was such a very beautiful and very enlightening presentation. Thank you so much, sir. Like I said earlier, he has done an absolutely excellent job. And he has taken us through the introductory tools of what a concept note is, its relevance, its importance in research development. He has highlighted key aspects, such as the proper wording, the referencing style, the significance of building a strong research team. As a gender advocate myself, I was jumping off my seat when he actually referenced the importance of gender when building your team. It was truly a rich and insightful session that was delivered with clarity and depth. Thank you so much, sir, for such a beautiful and a brilliant presentation. So I actually said it in the chat box. I said it would be for a smooth and timely discussion. I asked that we feel free to submit our questions in the chat box as we prepare for the question and answer. And I can see some questions not necessarily directed at our speaker. People were asking about the recording of the session. It's been recorded, and I am so sure that the recording will be shared across our platform very soon. And while he was presenting, also, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So while our presenter was also presenting, he said the soft copy of the presentation will be available. So I just wanted to mention that to everyone that is listening in. So because people have not dropped in their questions, does anybody have a question for him personally, so that we can do this in a very timely and fashionable way, so that we don't rush things ahead of, we don't rush ourselves. If you have any question, please, you can signify by putting up your hand, please. Yes. And so you have just 3 minutes for your question. 2.5 minutes, less than 2.5 minutes for each question, because I know the hands are flying right. I can see your hand, so I would take it one after the other. So I think the first person that's raised up his hand is AGD. I don't know if that's an engineer or a doctor. Please, you have the floor for probably 2.5 minutes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. My name is AGD. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Please, my question is not in academic, that are currently not working within the confined space of the university or higher institutions. Is grant available for them? That's my question. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Degoki Olu session. Yeah, that's good. So, it is only those that are working in tertiary institutions in Nigeria, even including private. In recent time, private institutions have been included. But that does not mean you can not participate indirectly. You will establish collaboration with participating institutions. They will find a way to integrate you indirectly into the process, and that's exactly what TETFON is advocating now. industry partnership, because no meaningful research can be done if the society is not carried along, because the research is basically for policy making to solve problems with the society. So, but random people in the society might not be able to serve as PI or key members of the research because of the reason known to debt fund. So, but that does not mean that an individual cannot participate indirectly in the research process. But before anybody can participate actively or lead, he must be a lecturer in any Nigerian tertiary institution. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Mr. Adegoke, I think that answers your question. All right, so we have another person raising up his hands in person of Hajibola. Sir Hajibola, are you there? Are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now, so you have the floor.
Yes, I'm here. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Taufik, for very, very beautiful presentation. Well, maybe part of the question is what is, but I want a lot of some clarification. I have an outfit that is almost academic in nature. Is about AI Media Academy. This Bowset AI Media Academy. What we do is we carry out research in the area of humanoid robotics. I don't know whether our own outfit can feature in this grant exercise. I don't know whether we can fit in, or do we need to collaborate with a higher institution?
Oh yes, particularly I'm interested in that area that you have just mentioned. If I were to apply for a grant, I am particularly happy to collaborate with you. At least we can sit down together to see how my area fits with what you are doing, so that we can jointly generate a proposal. Then, okay. So that's what is not possible is for you to lead, but collaboration is possible. So you can use your expertise to solve part of the objectives. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you might.
I didn't get you very well.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that collaboration with institution is possible.
Okay.
Yeah, you can collaborate with the institution with PI, so that you may not be able to feature as a team member, but you can still integrate you indirectly. Yeah, because I have mentioned this.
I may not be able to. Okay.
Yeah, because the NRF is.
Anyway, we'll discuss after the session.
Yes. I was just going to say that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because the all is made for lecturers in Nigerian tertiary institutions.
Okay.
But I'm very confident that some institutions exist that may want to invite you for discussion, for collaboration.
Okay. As a matter of fact, we have even done some simulations. We are currently producing our prototype now.
Oh, okay, that's brilliant. So please let us discuss after the session.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your questions. So we have some questions that have been sent to the chat box. We have about 3, and we have just about 9 minutes before we are logged out of this call. So the first one is from Sir Christopher Nabodi. I hope I've not murdered that name. He says, can there be a prepared PDF running down the entire concept notes process, because it will be more adaptable for use?
Yeah, of course, yes.
All right, okay. So the second question is from Latif Idris Adekole, and he's saying, can a team consist of both lecturer from Polytechnic and university?
Yes. During my own last year, my team actually lecturer from both universities and Polytechnic. So it's allowed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And the last one from the chat box says, please, sir, how do new prospects create a strong team where older people who have experience in applying for TED fund grants or in the area of interest are not available? Do I take that again?
Okay, yeah, please do so.
Please, sir, how do new prospects create a strong team where older people who have experience in applying for TED fund grants or in the areas of interest are not available? So he's saying, what happens when the people who have experience in TED fund grant writing are not available to be a member of a prospective new team?
Well, the TED fund has a clear criteria for leading, for who can lead, who cannot lead. So if you have an idea, you may want to approach somebody who has expertise, who is experienced, and discuss together and collaborate. Yeah, so it's only good to mix experience, to meet with experienced people, so that we have a nice chain of researchers to solve that research problem. I don't know if that has answered this question.
I believe so. I would think so, but because when you were making your presentation, you actually explained what a PI is and what the requirements of a PI should be. I think a PI is a principal investigator, and you actually itemized the senior lecturers and above for the university setting, and then you said
lecturer for Polytechnic. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is clear criteria.
Okay, yes. So probably I would suggest that maybe participants listen once again to Dr. Taufik presentations, because he has answered. And this is not to say these questions are not viable. I'm just saying that he has answered some of the questions while he was presenting. So probably because of the network glitch, some people experienced while he was presenting some of his pertinent answers could have been lost in transit. So we would actually be very good if we can go back and listen to the presentation once again. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody has any question, because we have less than 5 minutes before we are locked out once again. Does anybody have a question to ask him in person, so that we can allow him go back to, I know he's a very busy man. Does anybody have any question? Can you not hear me? Can you hear me, Sir Zuma?
So I can hear you from here.
Yes, we.
Okay. So, in the absence of any question, I would once again like to invite Dr. Opadoja to say some few words, so that we can bring this session to a close. Are you there, Dr. Opadoja?
Thank you. I want to sincerely appreciate our boss, son of Dr. Suf Badamosi. I want to sincerely appreciate you, sir, for this wonderful presentation. Really appreciate you, because I know particularly particularly that you are always busy, but for you to create your time to attend to us, wonderful. Really appreciate that. And I want to assure the audience, by God's grace, we are still going to bring our doctor the next series, because what we want on this platform is testimony. We want people to be sharing testimonies before the end of this year, on most especially NRF and all international grants. So we are still going to bring him, and we are going to create time for people to ask questions. And I want to challenge every one of us on this platform that we should start writing proposals for the next NRF, which is concept note. We should start writing concept note for the next NRF, so that we will hope people to, because this grant is meant for every one of us. So, and once you are able to get a standard, correct, acceptable concept note, you too will be able to get the grant. So I want to challenge us against next month, against next series. Please let's go and sit down and get our concept note, be prepared. And by God's grace, Dr. Yusuf, I know he's a very wonderful man and he wants progress. I will talk to him that he should please try to look into our people's concept note, so that you'll be able to guide people how to write it, to correct their report before they meet. I think this one will help for us to be able to achieve greater achievement of this year. So once again, I want to sincerely appreciate Dr. Yusuf, my boss. Thank you very much for taking your time. So I want to sincerely appreciate all our audience, those ones that took their time to attend this program. God bless you. On behalf of AGD, we say thank you very much for taking your time, and God will bless you. So if you're having any questions, make sure you send your questions to the platform, and also the name of your institutions, and we send the email address of this platform, so that whenever you are done with your concept note, you send it to the email address. We forward it to Dr. Yusuf. He will go through it. He will let us know whether your concept note will be ready for the submission to TED Fund. He will guide us, and I want to assure you that before the end of this year, all of us are going to have testimonies by God's grace. Thank you once again. God bless.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.